Recording in progress.
Oh, Brian.
It's just me and you, bro.
Nah, I think we're still waiting on people coming in.
Oh, I'm just hella punctual.
Yeah. Bro, do you remember what law we're in? Is it law 3? 4. Okay. Perfect. Put that on. How you been, man?
Been all right, bro. Been all right. Trying to juggle this work and family life. It's a grind, but I'm here for it.
Mm. That's what's up, bro. How's like the outside world going on?
Oh,
No, I'm
that's
saying
an idea.
like out of work, like your family and stuff.
Oh yeah, all that's just straight. We're doing good.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
good, bro. Good to hear.
How about you, bro?
I mean, shit. I'm always here at work, so can't tell you that much about what's going on out there.
I feel you. Who's all in there? I feel like everybody graduated.
Well, Marissa's joining right now.
Huh?
Hey, Marissa.
Hey, what's up?
Morning.
Morning.
Marissa hopped on with the silk blouse. I see you, girl.
I was kind of nervous because it kind of looks like a PJ shirt, but I really like it.
It
So
kind of did at first, but then I was like, I kind of like it though. I was like, dang, she showed up in a little robe, but I was like, no, that's a little silk blouse. I like it.
thanks, guys. I appreciate that.
I'll be right back. Let me see who else is coming in.
Training class.
Yeah, I feel Fbla. Leadership was
Run everything around here, don't you?
I see how he runs things. Give it a second, guys. We're getting some more people in. I don't know.
You running it again today, Edgar? Tommy ain't about to be here.
Tommy, I'm not sure. He just hops in out of nowhere. But Shayla, I think Shayla's gonna pop in too. And I'm just giving her like one more minute. If not, I'll start playing the video.
Participants are getting slim. We need to graduate out here, Marissa. But I thought you and Mason said that you was supposed to already.
That's what I'm talking to him about right now. Honestly, I don't know. Everything's kind of like I get kind of confused because Casey did this with us, but as well. So I actually like don't really know exactly when we started. So I've just been kind of coming every week.
No, I feel you because I gotta like look through my notes and see which ones I have notes for and all that. So I was like, I guess I'll just start over.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I've just been okay. Coming. Yeah, Casey did this with us like before we were even like close to becoming essays. So that's why I'm like, well, I have the notes from every single one, but I don't know.
All right. Well, I guess Shayla's the last one, so we're gonna start playing the video. Morning, Shayla.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, girl.
Good morning, guys. How's it going today?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Right.
Four is the law of navigation. And the law of navigation says anyone can steer the ship, but it takes a leader to chart the course.
Good. Hey guys, can you hear me?
Edgar, what you got going on, bro? What's up, dog? Just exit out the tab, my
For
dude.
us, he said. He said the computer froze.
Oh my goodness gracious. Good Lord.
Never a dull moment.
Hey guys, my bad. Wait, dude, this freaking computer, man, it just froze on me. I had to turn it off and turn it on. It's crazy how you guys are still here though. Got you guys, no worries. Give me like 30 seconds.
Law number 4 is the law. Law number 4 is the law of navigation. And the law of navigation says anyone can steer the ship, but it takes a leader to chart the course. I've often described leadership in kind of two terms. There's what I call the art form of leadership, and then there's a technical form of leadership. The law of navigation is a technical form of leadership. It's very tangible. It's point A to point B to point C. For example, the law of timing or the law of intuition, that's art form of leadership. It's much more subjective. It's much harder to get your hands around it. But Jack Welch was exactly right when he said, a good leader remains focused. Controlling your destination is better than being controlled by it. So let's study for a few minutes the law of navigation. I brought with me something I read the other day that I just love. And I want to pass it on to you. So just kind of sit and relax for a moment. Let me just read you this I think, humorous story. A man in a hot air balloon realized that he was lost. He reduced altitude and spotted a woman below. He descended a bit more and he shouted, "Excuse me, can you help me? I promised a friend that I would meet him an hour ago, but I don't know where I am." The woman below replied, "You're in a hot air balloon, hovering approximately 30 feet above the ground. You're between 40 and 41 degrees north latitude and between 59 and 60 degrees west longitude." "You must be an engineer," said the balloonist. "I am," replied the woman. "How did you know?" "Well," answered the balloonist, "everything you told me is technically correct, but I have no idea what to make of your information. And the fact is, I'm still lost. Frankly, you've not been much help at all. If anything, you've delayed my trip." The woman below responded, "You must be in management." You can see the train a coming, can't you? Said, you must be in management. I am, replied the balloonist. But how did you know? Well, said the woman, you don't know where you are or where you're going. You have risen to where you are due to a large quantity of hot air. You made a promise which you have no idea how to keep, and you expect people beneath you to solve your problems. And the fact is, you are in exactly the same position you were in before we met, but now somehow it's my fault. Isn't that great, huh? When I think of the law of navigation, trying to get from one point to another, there's one thing, of course, that we have to understand, and that is, if anybody is going to be a good leader and navigate, you have to know where you are, you know. And again, I referred to on an earlier law, the Mr. Magoo thing. I mean, let me tell you something. When you get on the ship, you don't want to look up and see that the captain is Mr. Magoo. It just kind of is a little bit unsettling. And the reason for that is, in your notes, there are 3 statements I want to make. And the 3 statements are these. A leader is one who sees more than others see. That's a fact. That's part of leadership. What do leaders do? They see the big picture. Is that not true? But the second statement, a leader is one who sees farther than others see. In other words, a leader is a person who looks out and he can see distant horizon and has great vision. But the third thought I want you to know is that a leader is one who sees before others see. It's also a timing issue. And one of the qualities of a leader is you put them in a room, they sense things. They sense things quicker than others sense them. It's not an IQ issue. It's not that they're smarter. It's just the fact that they have leadership within them, and they sense a need before others sense a need. They sense an opportunity before others sense an opportunity. So what do leaders do? Especially if you're a good navigating leader, you see more than others see, you see farther than others see, and you see before others see. That's what good leaders do. Bill Eason said one time, realistic leaders are objective enough to minimize illusions. They understand that self-deception can cost them their vision. Or Max Dupree, my friend, said this. He said the number one responsibility of a leader is to define reality. What I have found about great navigational leaders is they're highly realistic, because they realize they have the responsibility of taking other people on a trip where they have never gone before, and they understand that they have to have experience and success. In fact, there's a world of difference. Think about it for a moment. There's a world of difference between a travel agent and a tour guide. You know, a travel agent, they get your tickets for you, and they get brochures for you, and they send you on a trip. You know what? They send you and me on trips every day of places they've never been before. You know what I'm saying? They bon voyage and have a good trip and here are your tickets and hope everything turns out right. Well, what travel agents, they send you where they've never been before. But a tour guide, when you go to the place you arrived at this place, you have a tour guide. You know what a tour guide basically says, I'm going to take you where I've been many times before. And I'm going to tell you about what I know. See, the great navigating leaders are leaders who they've been there and they've done that. But they're not in a been there, done that. You know, haven't you run people who kind of go around, well, been there, done that, been there, done, and they're bored. You know what I'm saying? You kind of say, well, you've been there too many times. You've done that too many times. Are you with me? So we've seen the been there. No. The great navigational leaders, they're been there, done that, but their excitement is taking people with them on the journey. I was just last week with Jim Winokur, who was the first American to go climb Mount Everest. And when we're sitting down around the table and having a wonderful lunch together, and I was asking Jim about some of his experiences, I'm just listening because he just has incredible experiences. And I said, what are you most proud of? I mean, you've been to Mount Everest on more than one occasion, the top. I said, what are you most proud of? And he said, John, what I'm most proud of is, he said, I have taken more people to the top of Mount Everest than any other person. And I thought, there is a true navigator. There's a person who understands that my joy isn't getting to the top. Been there, done that. My joy is getting other people to go to the top with me. And think about it for a moment. That's what navigators do. How many of you have ever heard the expression, it's lonely at the top? Huh? You've heard that, haven't you? Now, every time we hear the expression, it's lonely at the top, we think that a leader said that. A leader didn't say that. Think about it for a moment. If you're lonely, if you're all by yourself at the top, you're not leading anybody. If you're at the top all alone, here's the thought. Get off of the top and go down to where the people are. Go down and find your team and take your team to the top with you. That's what leaders do. Doesn't that make sense? To help me, because I am weak in this law, I'm not an A to point B to point C. It's not a strength of mine. I'm more visionary. I developed something in the 70s. I'm talking about 25 years ago as a young leader, knowing I had a lot of leadership responsibilities and realizing I was leading people that were older than me, more experienced than me, because I was just young. I developed a wonderful process that's helped me to navigate that I want to give to you. And in your notes, I want to walk you through this wonderful, wonderful step-by-step process of how to plan ahead. Are you ready? The letter P. The letter P stands for predetermine your course of action. In other words, as a leader, what do? The first thing I do is I determine where do I want to go. I don't wait till the crowd's saying let's go somewhere and then say where do I want to go. What's a leader do? Leaders predetermine. They think before others think. They see before others see. They've got that leadership edge. So predetermine your course of action. The letter L, lay out your goals. Basically, goals are nothing more than stepping stones. They're a process. So when I say lay out your goals, what I'm talking about basically is this. Use each one of your goals as stepping stones. So if I use this little platform for a moment, my goal is to get back up to the bar stool, basically I say, okay, here's goal 1 and here's goal 2. In other words, lay out your goals, develop them. Now, as soon as you lay out your goals, letter A comes into being. Because as soon as you lay out your goals, the letter A stands for adjust your priorities. I found this to happen. Now, I've been doing this now for 25 years, and here's what I found to happen. I found that every time I lay out my goals and predetermine course of action, I realize I have to adjust my priorities. Because you know what I'm doing? I'm doing things that are never going to get me there. You follow me? And I say, oh my goodness, John, why are you doing this? Because if you're wanting to really get there, so this is your destination, you're carrying extra weight. So predetermine course of action, lay out your goals, adjust your priorities, okay. The letter N, notify key personnel. Very simple. Take your key personnel and sit down and talk to them and notify and share the vision. For example, if this is my team again, what I do is I sit down and say, hey, gang, here's what I'm thinking. Here's the dream. Here's the vision. What do you think? And if your team is good, you know what they'll do? They'll take what you give them and they'll give it to you back better than you gave it to them. Isn't that right? They always make it better. When anybody asks me, says, John, how do I know that I have a good team around me? I can tell you how you know you have a good team around you. Every time you give them something, they give it back to you at a higher level. They take and stretch and grow you. But you notify your key personnel. In other words, you have your key meeting. You have your meeting before the meeting. Oh, that's a huge lecture in itself. But you got to always have a meeting before the meeting, because if you don't have your meeting before the meeting, you're going to have a very bad meeting. Notify key personnel. Letter A, allow time for acceptance. Because it's going to take a while. So allow time for acceptance. I can promise you, people change slowly. So give them time to kind of digest and process that in their own mind emotionally. Letter H, head into action. Get going. I mean, there comes a time you go. And by the way, leaders have a bias toward action. And so leaders love the head into action part. They say, okay, now it's time. We've been thinking and planning long enough. Let's go. Head into action. And as soon as you head into action, the letter E comes into place. Watch this one. Expect problems. The moment you create movement in the organization, the moment that you take action, expect problems. And somebody asked me one time in a conference, I raised their hand and said, John, why? Okay, help me out here. They said, when you say expect problems, why should I have problems when I head into action? I said, it's very simple. Motion causes friction. And the moment that you head into action, somebody realizes they're going to have to make changes. Head into action. Get going. Expect problems. I got problems. You got problems. We all got problems. Okay, expect those problems because they're going to happen. Okay? And as you expect those problems, and as you're moving forward, understand it's not because you haven't learned. It's not because you're being a bad leader. It's not because you haven't done things well. It's just because problems happen to all of us. Let me just take a little poll here. How many of you as a leader have at least one problem? I was talking to a leader recently, and he was complaining about the problems. I said, don't complain about the problems. I said, think about it. That's why you have a job. If everybody was doing the right thing, probably they wouldn't need you. This is a good thing that you have problems. But after expecting problems, always point to your successes. Always point to your successes, and the reason for that's very simple. Because you got somebody in the company that will point to your failures, okay? This gives hope to your people. This encourages your people. And then finally, the letter D, daily review your progress. Daily review it. Sit down and say, okay, how am I doing? Am I farther along today than I was yesterday? I have found that the secret of navigation is preparation. And the best navigating leaders are those who spend time preparing themselves so that they can effectively take their people on the trip.
Damn. So I'm not sure if Tommy's coming into the meeting, but I'm sure since you guys are essays, I bet you want to give some tips to Shayla. That might help out.
Like, what do you mean?
Well, I'm usually not here on the meetings, but since Shayla's gonna become an SA, maybe you want to throw some tips of like what is she gonna expect or how she can reach her goal for being an SA. Like what is it? I know Ryan been doing a lot of stuff, and Marissa been already helping out her teammates. So anything that you can just help out Shayla.
I actually do have something. When I was talking to Natalie yesterday, asking me like really where I saw myself and kind of like what I was having trouble with. And I told her everything. I have found that like it's really overwhelming at first becoming an SA because you are, of course, a leader now. So people are looking to you to lead from the front. So now like you have to still continue writing good business, writing a high amount of it. And then also now one of the biggest responsibilities that you have now is to recruit. And then also you have to get these APS forms signed. Sometimes you have to drive out to Decatur, which is like 3 hours away, and get a form signed. It is a lot. And I think it's just really important to know that it's okay that you're overwhelmed, because that just means that you're doing something right. Like you can stay busy all day, but I think the important thing is knowing what's really gonna set you up for success instead of just like staying busy all day. Like one of the things that really helps is I'm sure you probably have a planner, but literally just planning like every single hour out to the T, just so you know exactly what to do, so that you're not like, something that Natalie said, she's like, I can stay busy all day. I'll be answering emails, answering text messages, but is all of that really what I need to do that day? So it's just prioritizing what you need to get done so that you don't feel like you're redlining.
Okay.
So, that's something that's huge for me. And it's a lot, but it's okay. So that's pretty
Okay.
I have.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna, didn't like scare it or anything, but it does get overwhelming for sure. At first, I mean, I'm still in that stage because I'm just now getting people that are brought on, and I'm just now starting to train people and stuff. And like yesterday, I'm like running around with 3 different people, and like she said, it's like hard to sometimes find that balance of writing your own business and training people at the same time. And it does get a little bit overwhelming, but like she said, it's supposed to be. And kind of like he said, if you don't have problems, then wouldn't need you to be an essay. So, and I mean, they say it in the agency huddles all the time. The essay is the hardest job. So we just gotta try to get to a GA as quickly as possible.
Right.
That's the goal. Get to
Yeah,
a GA as
exactly.
quickly as possible.
Mhm.
Okay. For sure. For sure.
When are you like gearing up for a promotion?
Yeah. I missed it like last month by a couple thousand. I didn't really know I was that close. And then if I think I'm like maybe 5 or 6 away if I hit it this month. If I don't hit it this month, then next month I just gotta hit like very little, very little. So I'm very close, like very close at this point.
You're right there then.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. I
right
was just saying, like, man, I feel like we haven't had a promotion, and I think I might have been the last person to get promoted, honestly.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a bit.
It has been a minute. So that's what's up. I'm happy for you.
Thanks.
That's
It's
awesome.
exciting for sure. Definitely
And then I
exciting. Let's keep
definitely
it
will
going.
say to yeah, I was gonna say get some systems in place for recruiting and stuff. And just
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
just make sure you always have a steady stream of people coming in, because man, I've been don't put I would put my eggs in a basket and be like, this is my guy or this is my girl, and then they just end up quitting or whatever. So
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people just dropping out, and
yeah, like I literally had a trainee quit on Friday after we had a 6K week. I was like, what? Like, this doesn't even make sense.
What?
Well, I swear, we rode 6K and she quit on Friday.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wow. Okay.
do they have like, is it? So I guess in that sense too, obviously the turnover is pretty high. As far as agents, for us. So as an essay, is there a different way that you approach the situation, because you're more so now dealing with the turnover rather than I don't have anything to do with turnover because right now I'm just an agent. So how do you really go about trying to prevent that? Obviously, because you had a great week and she still quit. So
Yeah. I mean, she was just weak though. Like, she was weak the whole
Okay.
time. I saw it in her. Like, it was not for her. But
okay.
still though, like, I was still shocked after that. Like, that's when you quit, because the week before we had didn't have a great week. We was getting no showed, not
Mhm.
selling much, what I mean? And then we turned up and then she quit. It was just weird. But she was just weak the whole time. But I would just say building that dynamic relationship, like with Gio. Like, I like Gio and I feel like we're kind of like cool, but I still be kind of on edge. Like, I mean, I still kind of be on edge because he's like, there's Gio, you know what I mean? Like, so just keeping that dynamic relationship and just getting to know him on a personal level. I feel like sometimes I'll just sit there and just talk to him and just try to like literally talk to him like a person, get to know him. What's your mama name? Like, I mean, just get on a little personal level, but still, like I said, keeping that dynamic relationship at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of where I messed up with one of my trainees. Shit was not going very well.
I was just telling our managers the same thing. Like, people need to look at their agents as people, not just 1099s.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's been a big problem on a lot of teams.
Yeah. I mean, my issue is that like the personalities just like didn't click right away, because I'm like a person like I can get along with anybody. So it's like really rare for me if I don't like necessarily click with somebody right away. So that was like kind of weird for me. But because of that, I wasn't caring as much as I did with another trainee. You know what I mean? I wasn't asking those questions because like my other trainee, like we're great. Like, we're going out on Thursday, like we're doing all this stuff, but I think the other one I kind of like put on the back burner just because like, I don't know, I didn't see us like clicking very well, so I think like no matter what it is, like used to manage like a huge business, and he said like no matter how you feel about that person, like you still have a job to do, and like you still need to let them know you're like let them know you care. That's just like maturity,
Mhm.
and being professional. So I think that's huge, the dynamic relationship for sure.
Okay.
I lost a lot of people even just in the pipeline before they even came in, just because I wasn't nurturing them correctly and wasn't keeping in touch. And
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta really nurture them to even get them into the door.
Right.
Like it takes a lot to even get them to take their test and get hired and get an agent number like that. That in itself, it takes a lot. And then when they come on, then you really gotta show them that they're not alone, because it could be lonely. What I mean? You're just in your house, or like I just in my office, but we have the camaraderie of on Zoom. It helps, what I mean? And like freaking everybody calls me 20 times a day. Like, so it's not like, I mean, and I'm able to call my leaders, and it's awesome. So I mean, I would say imitate or replicate whatever the things that you like, that the things that attracted you and the things that you like about the deal. And if there's anything that ever rubbed you the wrong way or you didn't like it, then just don't do that.
Mhm.
That's how I feel. I'm like, okay, I like how they did that, so I'm gonna do that for my people. But I kind of didn't like the way that they did that, so when I have my own team, I probably won't do that. But I understand why they do that, but that's just what I just wouldn't.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Ryan, are most of the people that are in your pipeline, like, are they PRs or like where are you like recruiting
I
from?
have some PRs. I do a bunch of DMs. I have some people coming in from DMs. I have like some Indeed postings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We have just trying to get them from everywhere, honestly. Bumping
Yeah.
into people. I don't really leave that much, so I need to get out more so I can talk to more people. But yeah, really just DMs and like job boards.
Mhm. Okay, for sure. And how honest are you like from the get-go about the deal? Like, are you telling them, like, obviously we just talked about this, like information is like not good. But I guess like you're about to start the training process.
They're just doing Fbla, but they're almost done. Sorry about that, guys.
Okay, it's
It's all
okay.
good.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Ryan, like, how honest are you being about like the whole training process? Because like I'm the type of person, like when I was brought on, nobody told me how much work it was gonna be. It was more like, oh, you could work a couple days, make a couple $1,000, and then it could be,
100%. Whenever I came on, that's kind of how it was sold to me as well. Was like you make your own schedule. Just it's just like
Yeah.
real, like made it seem like real laxed.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
then I
Yeah.
come in and they start cracking the whip. I'm like,
What
hold
the hell's
up.
going on?
What happened? I keep it so 100 with them. Like it's gonna be hard. I tell them like I'm not gonna gas it up. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's gonna be hard. But it's
Yeah.
gonna be worth it if you're willing to put forth the effort. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that you're not gonna have to work or it's gonna be a grind. It's like the hardest, just the most grind that I've ever grinded.
Yeah. Yeah. For
So
real.
like I'm gonna keep it 100, like for sure. Cause then when they come on and they're like, oh, what you mean? I got all these
Not gonna
meetings
blindside
and
them.
gotta do like that's kind of how it was to me, but for me, but then I just was like, I just got with the program. I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like at first I had some
Same.
resistance to it. At first
Mhm.
I was like, man, I'm not going to these meetings, man. Like I thought this was like, I could just, do me and
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. But then I was like, it does keep me scheduled. And, if I just
Yeah.
not go to the meetings and stuff, I just catch myself watching Netflix or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so it does. I started to see the purpose and it started to make sense to me.
Yeah.
And I
100%.
I definitely don't tell people it's going to be easy.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm almost too honest with them sometimes, and I like lose people from the jump because they're like,
Same.
I don't want to work that hard. And I was like,
Same.
well, it's like the promise of there's gonna be an amazing day when everything just clicks and everything just starts like going super, super, super well for you, but it's like, I don't know when that'll be. So I can't say for sure. You know, I know it'll happen, but I'm not sure exactly when because everybody's different. You know, for me, it took a long time for everything to click, but I just,
Same.
so yeah, for me, it took like forever, it seemed like, but
Took me like 4 months.
yeah, I mean, I've
I
gone
did.
up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down the whole time.
I'm still like that. I ain't gonna lie.
Ryan, I feel like you
Ryan,
have
you got promoted
least
after
4K
3 weeks, not even 3 months.
I feel like, I don't know. We always, I guess I have a problem with not giving myself enough credit, I guess. Everybody always says that, but I just don't feel like I'm where I want to be. So, or where I can be. So I don't know. I don't like to hype myself up too much.
I feel that.
Cool. That's good.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Definitely have to celebrate your wins though, for sure. That's a
I have
lot.
to get better at that for sure.
Well, I remember seeing it in the group. I thought like, okay, when did you start, Ryan?
I think it was February or March.
Oh, okay, because I started in February, so I was like, oh, I think you might have got released like a couple weeks after me or something. And I remember seeing you get released, and then I swear to God, the next meeting we had, you were getting promoted. I was like, what is this? Like, what is he doing?
Yeah, that was not.
I came out the gate writing a lot of personal business, and that helped me out a lot.
Yeah, yeah, that's smart. That's smart. Yeah.
So, do you guys ever try to bring in personal recruits?
I have. I'm supposed to have like my best friend come in. She's going to be a caller for me.
Okay.
So that'll like free up a lot of my time so I can like actually focus on recruiting and stuff like that. But she's going to recruit for me too. So she's going to kind of do like a lot of that for me.
Okay.
I just want to be another Ashley to where I'm just in presentations and I don't have to call because it's
Right.
so tedious, you know. But for me, personals, I honestly don't know if a lot of my friends would be able to do this or my family.
Right.
I mean, I've definitely reached out and tried, but a lot of them are not. They're just like very. I don't know how to say this. Like very much the type of people that want a guaranteed pay, and they don't want to take the risk to do anything outside of their comfort zone.
Okay, that's where I'm at too, because right now, like all my friends and family see me working 90 hours a week and they do not want to do that. So
Yeah.
it's hard for me to bring in personal recruits right now because every time I try to recruit, they're like, no, you work too much, you work too much. And
Yeah.
I come from like not a 9 to 5, but I came from like a union job. I was in the union, I worked for the state, and a lot of my personals would be them. So coming from that, and that job was very consistent, very rewarding, like financially and personally. So now too, it's hard to tell these people, like when my close friends, they've seen me obviously struggle. I think everybody does struggle in the beginning for a little bit at least, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But it's
Mhm.
hard to be like, because they're like, Shayla, you're still working 9 to 9 every single day. I don't want to do that. So it's like,
Mhm.
how I don't know how to flip it on them and be like, look, it's only temporary, but it hasn't been temporary yet. So I'm not sure how to go about that for
Yeah.
my personal like friends or my family members.
Mhm. I mean, I don't know, like, is your whole team in person, like, or does anybody do virtual?
I do virtual mostly. I live like I live over an hour away from the office. So I come in, yeah, like I come in every day still. I try to, but I prefer to be virtual, that way I can get more activity. But if I drive to the office and I gotta drive an hour to the field and then an hour back to the office and an hour home, that's like a lot of
Yeah.
drive. So I try to
Yeah.
stay virtual.
Yeah. Yeah. See, and that's like kind of rough because like that's what all the managers did before. So like to them, that's like what they did. So it's like when we say like, well, that's not what we want to do, it's like, I don't know. Like for me, I got hired or I wanted this job because I knew that I could work from home. So like
Mhm.
that was something that like I'm always gonna, that's just something I told Casey, like, that's what I'm going to be doing. Like, I got hired because I got told that I can work from home. I can do this, that, the other. And I feel like I'm a lot more productive at home because I don't have to take an hour stressing about commuting, figuring out what am I going to wear, because basically I just have to look good from here up. So like, I don't have to worry about which pants I'm going to wear, what shoes I'm going to, like, if my toenails are painted, like any of that. So I don't know. I feel like if you are going to bring PRs in, you just have to like know exactly what, is going to be best for them. Like if it's going to be better for them to just do like virtual, and if Vince is going to be cool with that, I'm not really sure how he feels about that, but
Right.
like just staying home,
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm in Ohio, so all my stuff is virtual.
Yeah.
So, I have one person. I'm kind of in the same boat as you, Marissa. Like,
Mhm.
I'm kind of like the only person that I know that is like me. I mean, there's not many people that I know that are willing to bet on themselves or take a chance. Like you said, they just wanted something that is guaranteed. They can just show up and they don't even got to do nothing. They just gonna show up and go hide somewhere if they wanted to, and still get their little 800 every 2 weeks or whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever the pay is.
Right.
They just want to know, like, guaranteed, like, and then live above that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense, but so I've been focusing more on not personals, just because, like you guys said, I mean, everybody sees how much we work, and every time I talk to somebody, every time somebody calls me, I'm working.
Yeah.
Every time somebody calls me, what are you doing? I'm working. You know what I'm doing. So, it's like y'all said, they're like, man, this dude's always working.
Mhm.
But I guess it's kind of at the same time, it's like what Fred Hadaya was saying. We start upgrading the whip and upgrading the life, then they're gonna be like, maybe I might want to start working like that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get to the point to where like I can start showing the fruits of all the labor, right? And I think that once we get to that point, I think that personal recruiting will be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Recruiting your Bentley.
Yeah, he said, you know how I recruit?
Top down.
Then I just drop the
Top
top of the
down.
Bentley and go for a ride. I bet that is how you recruit, bro.
Haven't you seen those videos where they like go up to those people's houses? Like, what do you do for a living? I bet they go to his house.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's
for
great.
real.
Hold on one sec. My laptop's about to die.
I definitely do think that will help with the personal recruiting. Just being able to.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah.
I know for a fact if I saw somebody that like I went to high school with or something, and they're all of a sudden on Facebook or Instagram or something, and they're like, you just like gradually start seeing like things, and you're like, at some point, you're like, you can't fake this.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I think
What's going on?
Hey, I need to know. I need to know what he's doing for sure.
Yeah. And that's my thing. Like, I do want to, like, for me, like, I want to get a G-Wagon. Like, I want to get a G-Wagon that's this color.
Okay.
I want either like periwinkle or like sky blue G-Wagon. And I feel like as soon as like you start riding around, like, especially, I'm not sure exactly like where you grew up or anything like that, but where I grew up, there's nobody that has really anything nice at all. Because again, like, everyone works either 9 to 5 or they work at Jewel, or they work at that tire place. What the hell is it called? Like Jiffy Lube, like all, you know what I mean? Like, it's all like guaranteed, like very comfortable jobs, so I feel like, but it's like, what do you have to do to like enable to get the car in order to show it off? It's like all this. And so I'm like, well, it's going to take a little bit for me to save up for a $150,000 car, but I think it would help a lot once I do get it,
100%. Because I mean, I'm definitely from, I don't want to say the hood because it's not the hood by any means, but it's ghetto as hell.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like you said, as soon as you pop out, yeah, I mean, and everybody knows me, so they gonna know I'm not like a drug dealer or nothing like that. They gonna know they're gonna know it's legit, and they're gonna want to know what's up, because like I said, they're not gonna be like, oh, he's selling dope, because everybody know that's not me.
Yeah.
Used to be. not anymore.
Not anymore.
Crap.
But no, yeah, I think that'll help tremendously. And it's like you said, just getting to the point that where we can do stuff like that.
Mhm.
You know, Fred Hadaya in our one-on-one yesterday, he's talking about, he's like, he made sure he wrote $1,000 in ALP every day,
Mhm.
$500 in income every day. I'm like, well, that would definitely do it.
Yep.
That would do it.
That would do it. That would do the trick for sure.
That would it. That's it. That's the move. And
Yeah.
then just building the team, like he said, you know, once you sign that essay contract, you start acquiring wealth. Just because of everybody underneath you, and just the way that this deal is set up, it's just so crazy. Every time I
Yeah,
break
it
it
is.
down to somebody, it blows my mind, honestly.
Mhm. Yeah, I still feel like I don't completely understand everything about it, but I just know basically the higher you climb, essentially the more money you make.
One thing I don't understand is how I'm getting renewal checks, and I only been here for I don't even know how long.
Yeah, I think those are release checks. So like, you know how, wait, how long have you been here?
Since February, so February, March, April, May, June, July, August, like 6 months.
Okay. I mean, you have good retention though. Yeah, so usually if you have like really good quality business that's on the books, you get release checks. So like they'll just give you another portion of your deal essentially because
Gotcha.
Like your
Yeah,
back
because I got like the email that like said like congratulations on your first renewal check, and like they sent me my little code for my Miracle of Renewal shirt and stuff, and I'm just like, I just don't understand how I can get a renewal before a whole year. You know,
Yeah.
like a renewal would have to be like a renewal. You know what I mean?
a
Like
year. Yeah.
so I'm kind of
get a
confused on
code?
how that works. Yeah, like they sent me a whole email and everything, like with a code for a free T-shirt and stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, like I ordered it. Like,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, get
But
it. Get it for sure.
I just don't. I wish I could like understand it more.
Yeah, every time I ask for an explanation from a manager, they like say different things. So I don't know. Like they say pretty much the same thing, but it still doesn't click in my head. So I don't know if it's something wrong with me that I just don't understand
I don't know
or
if it's on your end or if it's on my end here.
yeah, I don't know. I know, like, usually you get your advance and then they like hold part of the advance, like the last 35% or whatever of the 50% or whatever the contract is in the last like 9 or 10, 11, and 12th month. And then that's usually like when you would get that back, I believe. But I don't really know because that's not the same as a renewal, right? So I don't know. I always get confused.
I just it's very confusing. I feel like I just want it to be like very clarified. Like can we have like a workshop or a sales coffee or something where somebody like really breaks this down. It's just being recorded. So Tommy, if you're watching this,
Yeah.
can we get this broken down so that everybody can understand the actual miracle of renewals? Like I just need to I want to know it like the back of my hand.
Yeah.
I got tattoos. It's easy to know the back of my hand. I want to know it. Like I really do. And I just don't. I have no sense of how it works.
Yeah. And then that way you can like teach it to your people too.
Exactly. So that I feel like I could sell the deal a little bit. It feels like I could sell the deal a little bit more if I could explain the renewals and the residuals a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah.
All I can basically tell them at this point is, I mean, you do the work once and you continue to get paid for it. Like that's the only way I can think of to describe it. Like, and I just wish I could get more intricate with how it works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 100%.
Well, the first day of training, they always, Tommy does explain all of that. And if you want to watch the video, they have him on YouTube. Just training day 1 with Tommy.
Well, I'm gonna have to check that out because I never did training day 1 with Tommy. I don't know where that was at when I got brought on, but that didn't happen for me. But yeah, I'll check it out if it's on YouTube.
Or I can send you the link for the video.
Oh, yeah.
All right, bro. You got my email, cuz.
Got you.
That's awesome.
But
Jayla, do you have any people coming in, like in the pipeline at all?
So our team has about, I believe, like maybe 4 or 5 people starting. I think like 4 people starting very soon. So that's why my essay is about to like be here real soon, because they're gonna be under. I think I got 1 or 2 people I'm gonna start training when they start
Okay.
within the next couple of weeks here.
That's
But I've
awesome.
been running kind of with like, I'll run with Ronnie if the other managers are busy, or I'll run with other trainees or train with them. I've already been practicing training other people. With Amina, I started a little bit, just helping her out when Faith wasn't there. And then with Ronnie, if like the other managers are in the field, because obviously she can't go in the field, she's in Kentucky. So I'll do virtual with her sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet.
No personals though, no personals on my end, and nobody I brought in. Just like, I think other manager personals or job forms. I'm not sure exactly though.
Mhm. Yeah. Cool. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, getting to the point to where you can consistently buy job forms every week. I think that would help a lot too, for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and RMS, I know that like RMS isn't the best, but Simon Arias was found on an RMS. So you never know.
Okay, so what's RMS?
RMS are like these, I think we get them for free, but they're essentially like resumes from people.
Okay.
Like they just posted their resume on like Indeed or like Monster, something like that. They look like this.
Oh, okay. And then what's the difference between a job? Like, then what's a job form?
A job form is like they actually applied to the job, essentially. If I'm correct on that, Brian. But I think it's like they literally like watch the overview.
Yeah, job forms have already watched the overview and filled out the questionnaire and all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but having people like right out the gate when you first get promoted is gonna be huge because you max out your bonuses in the first 3 months of being an SA, I believe. I think it's like 125% is what Predetermine said.
I thought it was the first 90 days of the agent and the agent's first 90 days. Is that not?
I thought it was your first 90 days as being an SA, but I'm not sure. I could be
I'm
wrong.
not sure either. Let me check.
I think it is. I think it's yours because then after that, after that, 25%. 125 to 25.
What'd you say, Lily? I don't know why my pictures are being weird as hell.
Ryan, just to pick your brain for a second, when you are writing like your 10K weeks, you're mostly running referrals, right? No.
I don't know. It's not that I struggle with referrals. I get referrals.
Mhm.
I don't know. Booking the referrals has been a slight problem for me, honestly. I don't know.
Second that.
Yeah, I'm still trying to crack the referral code myself, honestly.
Do
A
you
lot of my
sell
10K weeks
referrals?
are just, excuse me?
Do you sell them? Like if you see them?
I've sold a couple. Not as much as that, not as high of a closing ratio as the average, I guess, though. I don't know. It's something, I don't know. And then I just had some referrals that they like called home office and canceled their policy. Like they didn't even call me. So I was just like,
Oh, damn.
I don't know. I'm like, what am I doing wrong with the referrals? I don't know. I'm still trying to crack that code. So no, it's mostly leads, honestly.
Damn. Okay.
Marissa, as far as you, yeah, same thing. Like, because I feel like when I started, referrals were definitely, you wanted to get them, but as far as like what we're all learning now as far as pushing referrals and seeing referrals and referral trains and referral trees and whatnot. Like that's kind of, it's not recent because obviously everybody ahead of us has done it, but I feel like it's recently in the spotlight right now. Do you guys feel like that or no?
Yeah.
I
100%.
do, because whenever I came on, it was real lead heavy.
Yeah, me.
Like
Okay,
we
I
were
felt
real,
like that
real,
too.
we were real lead heavy. The leads were fire.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that the lead pack that I just got is good. I looked a lot there because they're showing up and stuff, but
Yeah.
I definitely understand what you're saying. That was definitely more geared toward the leads, because, and I can say this personally, because like I said, whenever I came on and I was writing a ton. That, like, I came out and I got released and I wrote 10K my first week. That was 100% personal business. I was writing so much personal business that they were telling me like to stop writing personal business. They wanted me to focus more on the leads. And now that we're where we're at now, it's kind of just doesn't make sense to, you know what I mean? Like why I would be told that, you know what I mean? If they want us to get so many referrals, basically personals are my referrals, you know what I
Right.
mean? But they like basically, you know, told me to pump my brakes on the personal business and right and do focus more on the leads, which I did. And but yeah, I definitely it was, you're not crazy.
Okay, because I feel like maybe more so now that we've had a lot of more visitors coming, and that's what they've been doing. And you know, those two girls that were on that call recently, they were talking about that a lot. So a lot more referrals have been popping up. But I feel like the trainees right now that we've had, at least on our team, rock referrals. Like they do great at referrals because they're learning just immediately well, not that I've never rolled one, but like roll your referral, put them on the schedule, sell them. But when I was in,
But
it's like
that's like the focus though, like, you know what I mean? They come in and that's the culture that they come into. And that kind of wasn't, you know what I mean? I guess for same for you, I guess it kind of wasn't for me either, you know. Like collecting as many referrals as possible. That wasn't really like something that we focused on during training, you know what I mean? So now I have to kind of figure it out.
yeah, I gotta
And it's
figure
not
out
the
how to sell
collecting
them.
them. Like most times I can collect them.
Yeah.
It's to just booking them is where I have. Yeah. And they like they know show me a lot.
Mhm.
And then I get in my head like, what did they like talk to the person, or like, you know, I don't know.
Yes. That's how I get.
I had like one of my biggest deals. I mean, yes, I think it was like my biggest deal, like it was in the 3K, something like that. And I sat with both of their beneficiaries and then they canceled their policy. They like never paid it. So I was like, fuck, I don't want to, pardon my French. I don't know. Like now I'm hesitant because was it something I did wrong in the beneficiary set? So now it's, you know, and I have no problem collecting referrals either. Like I collected 41 last week. So it's just more so now just getting on the selling and the referral trees.
I think what it sounds like, I think we all just need to be more confident when it comes to the referrals. Is what it sounds like. I think we need to work on our confidence, guys.
With referrals.
What it sounds like to me, confidence with referrals. That's yeah. Because I mean, I like, again, one of the biggest deals I ever wrote, and then I saw their son wrote him a policy. They called me like 3 days later saying, because it was a trial, because it was so big, called me saying they don't want it no more. I tried to talk them down, tried to do all this. They didn't want it no more. And I'm like,
Damn.
the son's definitely going to cancel. Like the son is going to cancel. Lo and behold, like 2 weeks later, this dude calls me. Oh, I can't afford it. I got bills and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, couldn't get him back on either. Like I tried hard, and that's something that I struggle with too. If you guys have any advice for that, like if somebody calls you and says that they don't want the policy anymore, or like they want to cancel, or, you know what I mean? Like, have you guys dealt with that a lot?
Yeah.
I have. Honestly, I think you should talk to Josh because he is like just very straight up with them and is like, okay, that's no problem. Now, what I need to do is I need to come out to see you guys because I need to fill out some paperwork. And then he said that he, like, when he's in front of them, that he'll be like, wait, I wrote it down because this was just like absolute fire. He was basically saying like, okay, we need to make sure that your beneficiary, like if it's a one leg, like that was my problem. I sold a one leg and then I called the wife to get her on my schedule and then he canceled. So I was like, it's because I talked to the wife, you know, like I just knew it was because I talked to the wife. And he was like, to say like, okay, that's no problem. I need to make sure that your beneficiary knows that if something happens to you, that you don't have coverage anymore. So, so I need to see them as well. And then said something like, I can't find it. Was saying something like, okay, guys, like just being completely honest, like if you are, how did he say this? Like if you guys have a logical reason that you really do not need this coverage, then I can walk away, you know, with, you know, peace in my mind, you know, something like that. But we know that you need this coverage, like, you know, that you need it, like, we got you the coverage and like now, like essentially like what happened between before and now to, you know, just kind of like figure out what the problem is. Like, is it the price, the product, the company, is it me? You know, if you tell me like a logical reason why you do not need this policy, then, you know, we can walk out of here. You know, but I think his thing is like, he gets a lot of policies back on the books because he goes to see them in person. Or like he
And,
goes on Zoom.
and that's good. I was gonna say like my team kind of does it differently. I had to save a deal one time too. And the biggest thing is like we tell them, okay, perfect. We just got to set up a Zoom call to do the cancellation paperwork. I got to send it over to you, have you sign it while we do the Zoom call. So get them on the Zoom and basically rebuild rapport, do all the personal stuff, talk to them personally, and just see like where their head's at. Because a lot of times it's like buyer's remorse. It's not even, you know, sometimes it might be the affordability, but a lot of times people get buyer's remorse and they'll, you know, it's something else. It's not really, you know, a lot of time has passed and they kind of forget the need for it. And it might not even be a lot of time. It might be like a weekend and they thought about it and they're like, okay, I just made a decision like this, because people always think I'm not the type of person to make a decision right off the bat. So I had to save a deal, and I had to save two deals. One time I did go to somebody's house, and then the other time I went in person or on virtual. But basically I just let them talk. Like, let them talk to me. This woman talked to me for 30 minutes before we even got into the actual policy. And then basically you just tell them, like, re-solidify their need for it and why they need the coverage and the permanent coverage, and on top of if they have term of any sort. But you basically just, because they're going to tell you why they need it, but why they can't have it. So they're basically reselling themselves to you. And then you're basically just assisting them that they did the right thing when they first signed it. So from there, you can adjust it, make sure it's more comfortable, but you're just helping them basically make the decision again, like re-solidifying that it was them, not you, not that they were forced into it. But you got to get them back on that Zoom, not over the phone.
I like that.
I feel like when I just have them over the phone, it's just so hard to do anything with that. And then just let them go, you know, just like this past week, I had like 3 deals.
Yeah, if I can find my recording, I can email it to you. I just don't know how to find recordings on my laptop yet. But if I can email it, like the save deal one, to you guys.
Okay.
Because it was like an hour just to save it, because literally the second we got on the call, she immediately just started talking about it. And I barely got anything out for like 35 minutes. She just talk. I just listen. I was like, you know what? This is what we have to do. You know you need this. And she's like, well, I just can't make that decision right away. And, you know,
but it's like,
figure it out again.
Like, you know, you need it. So like, what is it that you didn't want to make a decision about? Like, this gives you the peace of mind that you don't have to think about it ever again. Like, what are you going to keep on doing? Like, keep on thinking about it a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years later? Like,
right.
That's what I don't get.
Yeah, it just doesn't, it just, who cancels their life insurance? That's the
Right.
thing. Like, it's just so weird to me. It's a very weird concept. You're
I
like,
don't
you
get
know
it
what?
either.
I'm gonna cancel my life insurance. Okay.
Gosh, I don't get it.
The beneficiary that called home office and canceled, they're like, she's like pregnant. They're about to have a baby.
Mm.
Like, what are you thinking?
What? Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I just had somebody withdraw their policy. I found out yesterday too. And it was like another big deal. And it was like renewable and convertible and whole life and 2 head starts on their children. Like the mom told me why she wanted it. And this is perfect. We were looking for this. I'm glad we got it today. She sold herself, told me everything why they wanted it. And then I saw they withdrew and I was like, oh my God, why? What is happening?
Yeah. That's crazy.
I'm gonna start telling people, look, if you don't plan on keeping this, just don't sign up.
I
Because it hurts all of
honestly,
us.
I'd be keeping it 100 with them like that too. Like, listen, like you're gonna pay this for your whole life. Like, basically, like this is whole life. Like, you're gonna pay this for your whole life, right? Like,
Yeah.
seriously, like, because it's getting to that point. Like, I mean, nobody wants to have bad retention, due to just
Right.
and like I would rather. I don't care how big the deal is. I would rather not write it rather than feel any kind of way about what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
so like, cause like I tell everybody, like those pictures, they look cute in the group.
Yeah. How many of them
It
keep
looked
it?
real cute.
They are not cute on the ICM report.
Yeah.
We need to start posting the cancellations.
For
So we can
real,
see the
like yeah,
real
them
shit.
pictures look cute in the group. I post it with the picture and then post the chargeback.
Yeah. For the next 3 weeks. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Oh
I
God,
had
yeah,
a,
the next 3 weeks.
yeah. I had like a 1900 deal a couple, like maybe a month ago. And I knew like there's just something fishy about this guy. And I was like, I really shouldn't sign this guy up. But like at the time I hadn't written a lot of business. So I was like, I'm just going to chance it. Like, you might just keep it. No, he didn't. Never paid 1 month, but I still got paid on. So I had to pay all that back.
You know what? I think American Income should start doing the advance after the initial payment's been paid. Because that's too soon of a chargeback. That's too soon of a chargeback.
Yeah.
That is that they probably should, honestly.
Because
Yeah,
it's within the first week. It's just like getting paid a week behind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
getting a Pennsylvania call.
Yeah, because I've had my fair share of chargebacks. Somehow my retention's still pretty good though. But man, they're not fun.
No.
Like I've had chargebacks on bad weeks.
Yeah.
To top off my bad week, I look on freaking the ICM report and I'm in the negative and I'm like, great.
Yeah.
You're great.
Awesome.
Great way to top off my week.
Yeah, I know, for real. Like not this past or July, was it? Yeah, I had negative production for the whole month, 1 month, because of all my chargebacks. Like for the month, I had negative production because of my charge. Writing a lot of
That's
business.
crazy.
And you have
That's
good
wild.
retention, don't you, Marissa?
I do, yeah.
That's good. At least you have good retention.
Yeah, it's like 95% or something like that, I think,
Wow.
which is good. But I have like 2 deals falling off, or 3, I think. So who knows? But I just look at it like, okay, well, that just fell off, so let me just put some more back on and it'll kind of like even out. But
Yeah.
putting that pressure on yourself, it's like,
Right. And I'm not even sure. Is that how it works? Like you could just replace it? Like
I don't think so. No,
You
I was gonna say,
that's just what I tell myself.
I don't think I'm not
No.
sure it works like that.
They say you have to write triple. You have to write triple what your deal was to get it back up to where it's supposed to be.
Wow.
Yeah, for one. So like for one deal that falls off, you have to write triple that
So
amount.
if you
to
wrote
get it back to
$1,000
where it's
deal,
at
the
on top of
$1,000 deal falls off. You're not back to where you're at until you write 3,000.
Mhm. Mhm. At least what I've heard. Yes, don't quote me. That's not coming from Shayla. That's coming from an outside source, but that's what I've been taught.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Mhm.
Now I had a personal that I brought on with me like immediately, and he's not even here anymore. He has some deals and like they're like falling off, and I'm trying to like get them open back up like underneath of me.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to figure out like how to make that happen.
You can recode it on like you reopen and then you just put recode and then you would put your name and then
Because
you
I've never reopened anything. Like I don't even know. I've never had experience. I have zero experience doing that.
yeah, I just did a reinstatement yesterday and then she told me right after I got all the paperwork done that she's not actually gonna do it. So I was like, okay, cool. But I know how to do the paperwork. So there's that. But like on the reopen request, you just fill everything out like that.
You find that on the ARC?
It should be on there, yeah. Yeah, they just have to fill out like a good health statement. Like if the application is 3 months plus from the original application date, they have to like just say that they're still healthy or the same, you know. But then it just says recode, yes, and then code to agent, and then you would just put your information right there so that you get the renewals then.
Sweet.
I need to do that for one of my deals for Nick because that was a referral that I gave him. And I'm like,
You know, when you reopen something, like do you get like the initial commission or you just get the renewal?
I think it's just the renewal, but I don't know 100% on that.
And does that go towards your like your ALP total for like the month and stuff?
I think it does somehow because like I'll see Josh post in the group like reopen like 1,000 ALP or something like that. So I think it does count. I just don't know exactly what portion of that actually counts towards like for your advance. Like I don't know how that works because technically you already got paid on it at the beginning. So I don't really know, you know what I mean? Initially. So I'm not really sure how that works. But I would definitely ask Josh because he's been putting a lot of his
I know. I saw he's been getting
deals back on the books.
so much stuff reopened. I'm like, dang.
Mhm.
He was killing it with the Phil. He's like the whole week. He's like did like 7,000-8,000 and just reopened.
Yeah. 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 And I think Christina had a reopen too. So that's
She did for sure. Yep, I did see that.
Mhm. And with her referrals, like I know that we should like really be stressing the referrals a lot. The only thing is like I have, and you know, again, I'm not sure if this is like 100% true, but I know that she gets in like a lot of sits every day, right? Like I'm pretty sure she gets in like at least 7-8 sits. But like I wonder what like the actual close ratio is on that.
A day?
Pretty sure. Yeah.
7-8 sits a day?
She does?
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Does she have like a shorter presentation?
I don't think so.
That's what I don't like. I don't understand how people are getting in all like so many sits in a day. Like, I mean, I if I didn't, I mean, but I don't know. Like with all, you know, with all that we have to do,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? It's like,
Does she have a caller?
no.
No,
Oh.
no. That's what I like get.
I wasn't aware that she was doing that many sits in a day.
Yeah, that's just what I heard through the grapevine, but I was just wondering like what the actual close ratio is on that because I feel like sometimes when you sit down with referrals, like they kind of think that you're their friend and because like through their friend or something like that, you know, and I don't know. But then again, like that one girl from the referral workshop said that she has a 90% close ratio. And I was like, what? Like, how does that happen?
Like how?
She works like 20 hours a week too, right?
Yes, the 90% production from referrals and a 90% closing ratio. And she just, yeah, like you said, I can't remember how much when she broke down her schedule.
They both work like 20 hours a week, I think they said.
That's crazy.
And I think, well, Ireland, I know is like a GA, I believe. So she's in management, but The other girl who was saying like, I'm not good at closing because I just don't get told no. I was like, damn, just like slap in the face right there. That's cool. But she's just an agent. So like I'm pretty sure she was an SA and she decided not to take that route. But
Yeah, she's a career agent. Yep.
yeah. But I mean, if you're writing that amount of business and like you're building your renewals like that, like after 10 years, like renewals are going to be insane, you know? I'm just trying to figure out a way that I can get to a 90% close ratio.
That's what I'm saying. I need my renewals to be
crazy.
something crazy.
Yeah. I don't know.
I need to be like Fred Daya.
Where I need to be able to say I settled for 100,000.
Right.
I only settled. The only regret I have is I settled for only 100 a month.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Fred.
I see
Okay,
you.
Fred. I'm trying to get 100 a year. You know what I'm saying? Right now. Still trying to get there, bud.
I'm trying to qualify for convention. That's all I'm trying to do.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't even know if I'm gonna qualify for convention, Fred.
Yeah, that's me right now.
How much do you guys have left to qualify?
A lot. I struggled a lot at the beginning of the year, so I think I need to write like 4,000 every week for like till the end of the year in order to qualify.
Yeah.
Well, if I ever have like double book sits or anything like that, I'm gonna throw them to you so that we can help you. So we can help you out so you could get to convention. I don't even know if I'm gonna get there, but I'm gonna do whatever I can to help anybody get there because I don't know. I need somebody to share the experience with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we
I
had-
feel that.
I think if we started in February, we had to write like 79, right? I believe it was. Okay. So I'm
I think it's 77.5.
oh, then I got like 50K to go.
I think I have like, I can't remember. Hold on. I can
Pretty much equals out to 2K a week, like as soon as you're released.
Mm.
So, I mean, that's not that much, but if you have a bad week here or there, or for me, you have a bad month or 2 months out of the year, then that puts you behind a lot. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I have like 33,000 to
Left.
write. Mhm.
You're pretty close. Very close.
I feel like it's doable. I just need to
it's 100%.
sit with, I just need to sit with the families. That's all. I need to get my show ratio up. Any tips on that?
Solidification. Calendar.
I definitely solidify. I feel like I do everything that needs to be done. I use Calendly. I have it sending them reminders and all that. And
How far do you book out?
Usually only for the next 2 days.
Okay. Our team does call aheads. So like anything that's more than 1 day book out, our manager above us will call the people the next day.
Yeah, we've been trying to start implementing that as well.
Okay.
For sure. We did have, I mean, it goes up and down because my show ratio was horrible at first. I was getting in like the minimal amount of sits, and I'm like, what's going on here? Then it got better. For a little bit, everybody was showing up, and then now I feel like it's starting to get like a little spotty again. So I don't know what's going on.
Closing down. Everybody's getting the last of summer and in Chicago here.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
Like, when I was calling people with Q the other day, somebody literally like rushed her off the phone. She's like, honestly, it's the last part of summer. Me and my family have a lot of stuff going on. It's not the right time. And then click.
Yeah. They're all having their end of the year cookouts, everything. They're all outside every day, even the weekdays. They're outside. I know because all my friends are outside.
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't know how many people I've called while they're at a cookout. I'm like, I don't know how many people I've called. They're like, you're gonna have to call me back. And I hear the music. I hear everything.
Yeah.
Like, I know they're at a cookout.
I know. We literally were doing a sit, and they're like, "Yeah, we're having a cookout." I'm like, "Well, you guys are telling me you're sitting with us right now during the cookout? Like, what's going on here?"
Yep. They do cookouts for everything. Literally everything. It's 80 degrees on a Tuesday. Okay, we're outside. It's like,
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But I think like it really is the weather a lot of the time because I remember in like the winter when I was doing sits, my show ratio was good. Like there were some days when I was like, damn, this person showed up too. Like, you know what I mean? Like there was just a lot of people that were showing up, like, which is obviously an amazing problem to have. But
Oh yeah.
you know, and during the summer, I'm like, damn, I can't get anybody to show up, you know? Some days it's really good. Some days it's really,
I guess that makes sense. I didn't even take that into consideration, honestly.
yeah.
Yeah, our that's why our team right now is door knocking like crazy. Because what are they going to tell you if you walk up to the door? You're already there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's our team is door knocking almost every day. Somebody's door knocking.
Wow.
Mhm.
I need to be able to implement that. I can't door knock.
Come on
Yeah.
to Chicago.
I'm gonna just start knocking on random doors.
Right.
Yeah,
Get some
You need benefits?
Ohio leads.
that would be dope.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could get your own leads. Like do you have an Ohio license as well or just your Illinois one?
I have an Ohio resident and an Illinois non-resident.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Get those Ohio leads in there.
I need to figure out how to do that. I don't know how to do that. I don't know where to get the leads from.
Yeah, maybe call Tommy. Maybe he could like buy some Ohio leads, you know, and then he could be like, yo, can I just get a couple of those so I can like, you know?
It would be dope to be able to like do some in-persons and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you didn't
Crush the in-persons.
did you I was gonna say, Ryan, you've done in-persons before, right?
I've done a few of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope.
I think it's just a lot more personable. Like you can actually look somebody like in their eyes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I like it a lot more.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously this way is easier and you can see more people. You know what I mean? So like I'm not taking for granted, you know, what we can do virtually, but I would like to be able to do both.
Yeah. I've done some in-persons, but I've never sold one in the home. But that was like back when I just got released and I had no idea what the hell I was doing.
I have like a very high closing ratio for in-home, but I like virtual because I like seeing a lot of people. I don't like sitting with one person for 3 hours. I'd rather
Yeah.
sit with two people in that 3-hour time span.
Mhm.
And that's my problem. That's my problem. I just have to be okay with spending a lot of time with one person, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
know
need a
there's-
lot more attention in home. They need a lot more attention.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I got my training in my Zoom right now, so I'm gonna hop off. But it was amazing.
Yeah, it's
appreciate
definitely
it.
has been real, you know, getting to know you guys and picking your brain a little bit. I appreciate it for sure.
Of course. Thank you so much for the advice on being an SA and all the insight on what it means to be an SA. So, I appreciate it.
Just know you're gonna get frustrated, but I guess that's gonna happen when we're trying to build an empire, right?
Facts. Big facts.
100%. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
All right,
right,
y'all.
good luck
Have a
today,
great day,
guys.
guys.
Thanks. You too.
Yes.
Bye.
All right. Bye.